How you guys doing today? My name is Byron, and today we are going to be going over the life with fame with Tupac Shakur. Basically, we're going to break down life with fame and basically when it occurred, the events, the details, and all the facts that they left out in the documentaries, the movies, and just maybe some things that you may not know about Tupac. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. If you haven't watched part 1, go check that out, Life Before Fame. And basically we talk about his life in Baltimore, life in New York, life basically in Marine City before he makes it off into the big league. So yeah, go check that out. But right now we're going to go ahead and jump into Life with Fame with Tupac Shakur. And we're going to continue out where we left off. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And let's get right into it, man. In 1989, Layla Steinberg and Tupac Shakur met through poetry class that she hosted. Layla Steinberg knew a classmate from high school. His name was Adrian Gregory. Adrian Gregory ran Digital Underground, and Shock G was the leader of Digital Underground. Okay? Tupac auditioned for Shock G, and Shock G loved him. Shock G asked Tupac if he wanted to come on the road as a roadie, not on the group, not as a singer, not as a rapper, but as a roadie, basically carrying equipment and carrying bags. Yes, that's what Tupac used to do, right? So in 1990, he's basically a roadie. 1991, he's a member, right? But he's not really kicking out verses, right? He's more so of a backup singer for Shock G.
I had talked to Atron and I wanted to get us a deal, and he said we had to make a video. We decided to have our own mini concert here on the grass, so that we could show Atron how tight we were. And so all the kids in the building were our audience right here on the grass. And that was the stage behind the trees. And we had the Strictly Dope show. And this is where we made our tape that I sent to Atron that got Pac's deal.
Layla Steinberg called me and asked me if I was interested in meeting Tupac. And at the time I was working with a group called Digital Underground. And I called Shock G, who's the leader of the group, and asked him if he wanted to meet Tupac, and he said he would, and he was in the studio, just sent him down.
Atron and Layla sent this kid Pac to the studio. We were mixing down Sex Packets, our first album. Pac came in the studio strictly business. Maintained eye contact with me the whole time. I'm at the mixing board. Do you want me to rhyme now? What's up, Shock G? Shock G? What's up? I'm Tupac. You want to hear it right now? I was like, damn, this cat's intense, you know? It's like, yo, run this back and put some reverb on that track. I'm gonna go in the booth with this cat. Let's go in the piano room. And he busted. It was street. It was educated. It was articulate. We came out the booth. I was like, yeah, you tight. I'm gonna holler at H and I'm gonna tell him. He was like, all right. In 1990, you weren't really blown away by Pac's rhymes. His rhymes were better than average.
Once he does same song with Shock G, he then drops Tupacalypse. Tupacalypse is a social awareness, he's basically talking about social problems going on in the country with black people, right? And police brutality, and also, young kids having babies at a young age, like Brenda's Got a Baby. That's what's on Strictly for My Niggas. Songs like that, right? So he wasn't trying to follow the NWAs and the Ice Cube with the fuck the police and all this other shit like that. He was basically saying, no, the police got us trapped. Avoid the trap. You know what I'm saying? And that's where he was able to grow so big from Strictly for My Niggas, was because he came with a different message for people to digest.
The day we were coming from the city, we were going back to Santa Rosa, and all of a sudden the same song came on KMEL, and that was the song that Pac did with Digital. And we were so excited to hear it. And I'm asking everyone, get your money out. I need $2 to get over the bridge. I didn't have any money. And everyone searched their pockets and no one had any money. And I ended up having to write a check to get over the bridge. And the one thing that was funny is that Pac said we should all remember it would be the last time he couldn't pay $2 to get over a bridge.
On the tour bus, we were looking at Pac's first album. We were like, oh, you doing good, Pac. You know, he was like in the 40s or 50s somewhere with his first album. Sons of the P was in the top 10 and had just got certified and all that. And I remember Pac storming out the room, looking at the chart, how his album went. And he just looked at me and went, "If I could get a beat like Kiss You Back." Walked away. And I was like, whoa. Because usually I let him pick the tracks. He'd be like, yeah, I want this one, I want this one. But then I realized he wanted me to get involved and tell him, this is the star track. He was telling me like, he can't pick them, just give me something hot, you know? So I made sure he got I Get Around, So Many Tears, and all that next shit.
In 1992, Pac was already sharpening his blade. He was already getting ready for fame, right? He already knew he was going to be famous. He had a magnetism type of personality, and yeah, it was just a matter of time, bro. So, I believe in 1992, he got Juice and he played Bishop. Well, he got the part in Juice and he played Bishop. And Bishop was a kid who was basically looking for some respect, some power, some influence. And him and his friends end up skipping school, and they killed the store owner later that day. I'm not gonna go on and give you the whole movie, but basically it's about a kid that power goes to his head, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up turning on his friends, right? Great movie. This is what actually made Tupac famous. This is what actually gave Tupac that stamp of approval, you know what I'm saying? To say he is legit, he's a superstar, and he's somebody we need to watch, right? Marine City Festival was the same year as 1991. He released his album in 1991. In the same, he released his Juice, in 1992. He went to Marin City's Festival. He went to Marin City's Festival for a friend. He did a favor for a friend. He did a free concert, and it ended up with someone being killed. Long story short, that was a bad year for Tupac. It was a good year because he dropped his album. It was a bad year because somebody died on account of his presence, right? So that wasn't a good year. But the same exact year, he created Thug Life. Thug Life stands for the hate you give little infants fucks everyone. So basically, he was diagnosing the society of young black males. You know, he was diagnosing why they were running rapid, why they were running crazy, why they were a menace to society, because the lack of love, the lack of attention they received as children.
I said I was living the thug life, believe me, it was all real. Mm-hmm. You know, and as sure as thug life is tattooed across my stomach, it will always be a part of me. Mm-hmm. But thug life is like the 12th grade. Some people graduate from high school and don't seek to do anything else. Mm-hmm. So they continually live the thug life. Mm-hmm. Some people want to go to college, mm-hmm. and when they go, hold on, let me pick up Yummy.
Okay, ready? Roll.
Mm-hmm. Some people go to college.
Yeah, like high school is thug life. You know, you graduate from 12th grade, mm-hmm. and you can live your whole life with a high school diploma, but you're always gonna be missing something. That's where I felt like I was. Thug life was always gonna be real to me, and it still is real to me, because as long as the factors that make thug life are there, thug life will be there. But I also felt like I wanted to go to college, not college in a school or university, but mm-hmm. college in life. I wanted mm-hmm. to move up. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to expand. I wanted to grow. And that's what this was all about, by saying, you know, no more of that. I want some more of this. I want y'all to see this. You didn't like that? Well, you definitely ain't gonna like this. So what I would tell, you know, anybody who would listen to me is that, you know, you gotta start peeping game.
So then we go off into 1993, he comes out with Strictly For My Niggas, right? Strictly For My Niggas is a really good album for Pac. To me, it isn't his best album, but it was an album that did really good for him. Strictly For My Niggas is more so when you hear the keep your head up, and you know what I'm saying, this is where you start to get into that, you know, for my women, you know what I'm saying, love for the black woman, you know, more so, right? Also 1993 is the year he did Poetic Justice with Janet Jackson out in Oakland, California, right? And a lot of people from Oakland came to the movie set, and they was trying to embarrass him, you know, from the sideline, right? While he was on the field playing, they was on the sideline, you know what I'm saying, jibber-jabbing, trying to take him out of his element, because they couldn't stand for a young black homeless kid from a few years ago and his mom's a crackhead to be, you know what I'm saying, on a movie scene with Janet Jackson. They couldn't take that. That was eating them up.
He was into a big row with another young man. And so I said to him, may I speak to you? And he was cursing. Ooh, I wouldn't give a... I said, I understand that, but let me speak to you. If these mother... I said, I got you. However, let me speak to you. And finally, I said, when was the last time anyone told you how important you are? Did you know our people stood on auction blocks, were sold, bought and sold? Did you know, so that you could stay alive today? And finally, he heard me and stopped talking and started to weep. And I put my arms around him and I walked him back into the arena and he quieted.
Go off into 1994. I say this is the year that is the most, this is where life started to turn for Tupac, right? Because he met, 1993, he went to New York, and I believe he met Haitian Jack around 93, 94, right? And Haitian Jack is a music promoter slash stick-up kid who used to rob drug dealers, right? And Tupac was playing the part of Birdie in Above the Rim. And Tupac was inspired by Haitian Jack and how he was able to, you know what I'm saying, move as a gangster in New York. So Tupac took that for the Birdie part in Above the Rim. You gotta pay attention to it. That's who he was around at that time, right? Also that year, that's the year that he was accused of the alleged rape, whatever, by Ayanna Jackson, which was someone who he was dealing with at the time, or whatever. But, you know, long story short, he ended up, you know, getting, I believe, 9 months to a year. Haitian Jack got probation, and there was a third fellow, he got like 3 months probation, 3 months time served, 3 months of jail time, and then that was it. He was good. So it seemed like it was a setup to me, because why did one get probation? Why did one get 3 months? And then why did Tupac get a year when Tupac was the man that she came to see?
Absurd to think that anybody in the hip-hop game with mild celebrity status has to rape anybody.
This woman supposedly sucked him off in a club a couple of nights, in a club, public club. Come on now, in the hotel. Late night, what you there for? Come on, man. I know my dog. We've been flipping chicks from back in the early 90s on the road and handling, man. We ain't never had to take no ass. Never. You know what I mean? We, from the door, if we going to do something, have that type party, it's from the door, it's let it be known. That's our slogan, let it be known.
Pac called me after that happened crying. Like, Pac wasn't afraid to cry. That crushed him. You know, sometimes there's always the company you keep. People always say the company you keep, and that will be your downfall. Pac's company was his downfall.
Why am I the only one in court right now? Why is the cameras all on me? And in the report and all these charges, I didn't do nothing. I'm charged with being in concert with some guys. Well, where they at? Why me? Because I'm Tupac. No, I'm not angry at them. I'm angry at the system. I don't want nobody else to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to go to jail for something I didn't do.
In 1994, this is where Above the Rim comes out. This is where Tupac is able to, you know, be Birdie. This is basically a killer drug dealer who had a basketball team as a hobby. That's what the movie's about, right? And he tries to extort basketball players by death, you know, with death, and, you know what I'm saying, stopping the college scholarships and all that, right? So then later that year, he gets shot at Quad Studios. Now, the story says that when he was going through the legal issues with, you know, Ayanna Jackson, all his royalties from the movies and music, they were all going to taking care of his family. And all the other money was going towards lawyer fees. All the other money was going towards this and this and this and this. So bro was getting money, but it was you know what I'm saying, he couldn't go broke. He couldn't go back broke. So he had to keep getting money. So he agreed to do a recording session for $7,000 at the Quad Studios with a rapper. I forgot his name. And basically when he came through the door, there was a dude standing right here, camouflage jacket on. And then there was a few more dudes on the inside. Long story short,
he had his own views because he was there. Most of us were on the West Coast out here working on the Thug Life album, but him and a small crew was there.
Only hours after surgery to remove bullet fragments, Tupac checked himself out of Bellevue Hospital against his doctor's orders. In a wheelchair, he returned to the courtroom where he hears the verdict. Not guilty of sodomy and rape, but guilty of sexual assault.
The judge said that ever since you become a star, that you've had one problem after another problem after another problem. And because of this, I'm going to give you this sentence.
Story says that when he was going through the legal issues with, Ayanna Jackson, all his royalties from the movies and music, they were all going to taking care of his family. And all the other money was going towards lawyer fees. All the other money was going towards this and this and this and this. So bro was getting money, but it was you know what I'm saying, he couldn't go broke. He couldn't go back broke. So he had to keep getting money. So he agreed to do a recording session for $7,000 at the Quad Studios with a rapper. I forgot his name. And basically when he came through the door, there was a dude standing right here, camouflage jacket on. And then there was a few more dudes on the inside. Long story short, they end up sticking up Tupac or whatever, and like his crew, everybody got down but Tupac. So then he shot him.